Okay, once again, you'll want to make a copy of this by clicking File, Make a Copy, and then saving it to your drive. I would delete the copy of part. Once you've got that, you can enter your data. Now, the first thing you'll do is enter your totals here. So let's say I've got 5 answers to this question, and 3 people said yes, and 2 people said no. Now, I can go through and add up the total since it's pretty easy. That's 5. Or I can use the feature from the spreadsheet program. Any spreadsheet program will do this. And I can use sum. And now it's going to ask me for the ranges. You'll see the phrase sum in there, equals sum of those two. And then I hit enter, and it will automatically calculate it. So now if I had more, I could do, say, 7, and it automatically changes. But since we know that we only had 5 responses, we'll keep it 3 and 2. Percent yes here, we can do that as well. We can say 3 out of 5 and do that on a piece of paper if we want to. Or what we do is we do the sum of 3 divided by 5. We hit enter, and that gives us 0.6. Now, we want it in percentage, so 0.6 is how much of a percentage? That's right, it's 60%. Same thing over here. We want to do no is 2 out of 5. So we go up here and we do sum of 2 divided by 5. That gives us 0.4, which is 40%. Oops. So that's one way to do it. There are other ways to do it. You can search those if you like. There's a percent here too that you can do. Makes it way faster. So you've got those totals. Now, create a pie chart of the above data. So what you're going to do is you're going to select, let's do percentages. Those are the areas that I want to make into a chart. Now, usually a chart has the labels over here and the numbers here, but that's a little different, so we have to tweak that. Click on Insert, Chart, and you see this really cool like driver's chart. We don't want that one, even though it's cool. Miss Mo wants something that's a little more user-friendly. So we're going to bounce over to Charts, and we're going to click on Pie Chart, because she asked for a pie chart, and this one looks good, 3D pie chart. However, it only says 100%. Well, remember when I said that it uses the columns a certain way? So we want to switch the rows and columns, and now we don't want to use column F as headers. There we go. So now you see my 40% and my 60%. Once we've done that, we can customize it if we want, change the colors and change the titles and things like that. But I like the red and blue for now. Depends on what you're going to put this in. And here's my chart. So I can move my chart around in here if I want. But really what I want to do, and again, you can edit in here. We can change this color to, let's say, purple, that kind of thing. Now what I want to do is I want to save the image. For example, if I'm going to put it somewhere else, or I can publish it. I can make a copy, or I can move it to its own sheet. If I move it to its own sheet, then now down here across the bottom, you'll see I had survey answers, and then the chart is here by itself, and now I can do all those cool things, put it in my website, put it on my document, take a shot of it for my video or whatever. And that's just chart 1, so you might want to label that, what was it, have you taken any? So we can title it here, have you taken? Whoops. Now I wouldn't title that because I spelled it wrong, and also it's an incomplete sentence pretty much. But you know what you're doing as far as your presentation. So there you go. That's how you make a chart. Now, I did a couple of things for the longer questions. You can just type your responses in here. Why were antibiotics provided to you? I was sick because that's what my 3-year-old would say, etc., etc. Also here, reasons for not completing the prescription, and the explanation of question number 5. Oops. Again, we go back to the first answer sheet, and then you get into some more complicated graphs here, but you've got each color represents a graph that you have to create. The 2 pie charts I showed you how to do. Here's a good one. Each person responded 1 through 5. So let's say the first person responded with a 2. So put a 1 there. And then the second person responded with the 1. The third person responded with the 1. The fourth responded with the 4. And this person responded with the 5. So we have all that. Now you'll notice the totals up here changed. So we had 2 people that responded with a 1, and then 1 person each that responded those. So now we have to figure out the average, the median, and the mode. Well, the average is if you add up all the responses and divide them by the total number. So if we go so a 1 plus 2, that's 2, 3, 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus 5 is 13 divided by 5, right? So we have 13 divided by 5. We'll do our little sum thing here. Sum 13 divided by 5. So that's the average, 2.6. The median, if you put your mouse over here, it says it's the middle number in the list of responses. For example, our responses here are 1, 1, 2, 4, and 5. Well, this example, it's 3 is the middle one. So we have 1, 1, 2, 4, and 5. So 2 is the median. And then the mode is the number that appears the most in your responses. Well, the number that appears the most is number 1. There we go. So we've answered those questions for her. Now we have to make a histograms of responses with the x-axis as 1 through 5, and the y is the number of responses. So again, we're going to take these, 1 through 5, and the number of responses. And we're going to do insert, chart. Now here's some cool stuff. It starts bringing up some things. So she said horizontal, I think, right? So that's this way. That doesn't really tell us anything. We want to use, let's see here, hold on. We'll look at our, so it's row 7 had the labels. So use row 7 as headers. There you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it shows how many people, 1 person, 2 people. And we can customize this across the bottom. But it's good that, you know, it looks like that, because if we make it any smaller, it won't be a nice looking chart. So there we go. There's our chart and who said what, how many people said which response. You can customize it again if you want, or just insert it, and then, like we said, publish it, etc. You can move it around in here too, so you can see the rest of your data. If you want to just publish them all in here, you can put them down here. And that's how it goes. So that's how to create the various types of charts. You'll see you have to do 4 total and present those as part of your presentation.